Welcome to Procurement Talk, and this is your host, David Byrne. Procurement Talk is for procurement and business professionals, where we provide insights and solutions to your procurement challenges. Today's episode is called Laying the Foundations. You wouldn't build a house without putting down solid foundations, would you? Well, the same can be said for a procurement framework. You need to have solid foundations before you can actually build the organisation. I was employed by a financial institution as the head of procurement. The organisation had 1,000 employees, 51 locations, $11 billion worth of funds under management, and had just sent 2 employees to prison for contract fraud. It was an interesting start to establishing a procurement framework. And most importantly, when establishing the framework, I laid the foundations by focusing on 4 key values. 1. Value for money. 2. Leverage contract opportunities. 3. Be quality driven. And fourthly, build strategic relationships. The reason why I chose these 4 values is when your values are clear to you, making decisions becomes easier. And of course, to build the framework, I also needed a team, and sometimes you're a hammer and sometimes you're the nail within the team. So you needed clear values on how you're going to lead the team going forward. Firstly, value for money. This is a guiding principle for any procurement professional to ensure that any goods or services we procure, we obtain value for money. At this organisation at the time, they were being seen as a bit of a cash cow by a number of suppliers who weren't delivering real market value to the organisation. In this case, I had to move these suppliers on and find suppliers that were reasonable and fair, which is what you really want from the market. Second is leverage contract opportunities. Don't just set and forget your contract. Don't just slide it into the bottom drawer and never be aware of it again. There's opportunities in contracts to leverage additional services through suppliers because they just want to keep selling you goods and services and leverage and build on that relationship. So why not use that contract to leverage those opportunities? It's the ideal time and opportunity to do so. Thirdly, be quality driven. Steve Jobs had a saying, be a yardstick of quality. Some people aren't used to an environment where excellence is expected, and he's dead right. Quality is the key. Whether or not you're running a tender process, due diligence, setting up your standard systems and processes, ensure that your quality is there of a high standard and it is the focus for establishing and driving that level of professionalism you want out of the organisation. Fourthly, build strategic relationships. This has to start at the executive level and then be moved to the management and operational levels. This is a really important point to leverage and build on those strategic relationships going forward. Put together a charter at the executive level so that they meet on a yearly basis and nut out any issues that they are having. And also look for other opportunities where either party could leverage. It could be the development of new technologies. This way we're working together to continue to build the relationships and leverage those opportunities. This is a key point. For the 4 values, I put them into a logo and used this on all of our internal paperwork. This was just a constant reminder to the whole of the team in making those decisions. It was simple but effective. In summary, so when you're establishing your framework, focus on the values on where you want to go and how you want to lead your organisation. The 4 values I used were value for money, leverage contract opportunities, be quality driven, and build strategic relationships. Best of luck and talk to you again soon. This concludes this episode of Procurement Talk. Thank you for listening. Procurement Talk is brought to you by David Byrne and BWD Consulting. We're helping organisations transform procurement. Talk to you again soon. Bye for now.